Our process was we pick the cherry, we process the cherry, and most of our processes are, we pulp the coffee or cherry, and then it goes into a parchment, and we wash it, or we let it ferment overnight, and we wash it the following day, and then after it's washed, all like the mucilage and everything is gone, we throw it on the dry deck to dry. So we try to sun dry, but it's not because of our location and the seasons that we pick. We tend not to get a lot of sun between the fall and winter. So it's usually anywhere between 7 to 14 days to get it sun dry. So if it doesn't, then what we do is we dry it in our mechanical dryer. So we get the moisture down to at least 11.5% or 11% moisture. We have a meter that tells us. And once it's dried, we store it in a grain pro bag, and it's there until we need it to mill. So when we need coffee, we'll take it to the mill. Actually, we have our own mill now. So we process that, and it takes the hull out from the parchment, and it goes through the grater and a sizer, so it grades out extra fancy, based on screen size, peaberry, and then we sort it. And once it's sorted, and we bag it, it's ready to be roasted. So depending on, we deal with particularly with the extra fancy, which is a 19 millimeter screen, and everything else are like the fancy, the number ones and prime, they all go together. And sometimes peaberry get in there too because of the size. And then we do peaberry as when we offer. That's our normal typical coffee. Now we have processes where we do naturals, which actually the coffee gets picked, we wash the coffee, we throw it on our dry deck, and it dries with the skin on. And what that does, it adds extra sugar. So there's a wine taste to it, I think. Every time I open the bag, that's what I smell. So the beans, the parchment itself, well, when we take it to the mill, it still has the skin on it. So we process it the same as our normal, and then we have another product called Pulp Naturals. Is basically, we pick the coffee, we pulp it. Instead of washing and fermenting, we actually throw it into the dry deck and let it dry with the sugar on. And then it, same amount of moisture, 11%, 11.5%, somewhere in there. And then we store it until we need it, and it gets processed the same. So there's three different ways that we process coffee in this farm in Kona Rainforest. But the majority of them are washed, processed. So that's the first process I mentioned. But that's in a nutshell. That's where we